Oh, this is Team Shutout with?
Kelly Horton.
And what deck you were playing?
I was playing Lost World Dinos today.
Let's get into that deck book.
All right. So the 3 of Big Bane Boss Monster. Honestly, in pure Lost World Dinos, he's way too good to run him at anything under than 2. Shout out to Simo and Team Champ for signing that one from Salt Lake City. Lucky Charm today. I pulled him off way more times than I needed to. It's Conductor, honestly. Like, he breaks boards. He breaks, like, any, like major monster boards. I was really hoping to see Orcus today, which I didn't see any at all. But we run 3 of him, because obvious reasons. 3 of the Oviraptor, because he's Stratos, except better. Stratos with 2 effects that you can activate both times. Pretty standard for what you want to do. 1 Giant Rex. I was really tied between Giant Rex or Aelo, but I'm definitely glad that last minute I decided to go with Giant Rex, because there are just so many times where resolving a pill with him just resolved Indulka, which, fun fact, tells Nibiru to leave you alone. A dragon and a dinosaur can beat Nibiru. Speaking of the dinosaur, 3 missile. This card should never come back to 3. Honestly, one of the most broken cards for dinosaurs ever. Make something unaffected by for the rest of the main phase. They can't Nibiru it, they can't Ash it, they can't Valor it, they can't, like, just, oh, I have an unimpeded turn, let's go. Like, they can call, but if they got it, they got it. For the baby package, 1 Petite and 1 Baby Ceratosaurus. I ran Baby because it allows for attacks. I've seen some people go with 2 Baby or a Petite, double Petite. Petite's good if you get him, but the fact that Lost World allows you to also pop from hand means that he's not a dead draw all the time either. Neither of them really are, but just getting that extra damage usually helps a lot, as well as just allows you to go in for game. There's for the most dinosaur lineup. Obviously 1 Kotal. 2 is way too bricky, and I'm actually really glad that I did not see him as much as I did in this tournament. There was one time where like, he was just my saving grace, because I had the 5 and the Banished and just hard summoning him. I have hard summoned this card more than I ever thought I would when I first grabbed it. I was like, oh, this will be cool. I can just search pill. Now it's, oh, I can actually just summon it and get my resources back. Like, he just allows for recursion, especially if you're put in the stall game. The main, like, baddie, obviously Pankratops, best dinosaur of the game, recurable with Oviraptor, recurable with pill. Like, honestly, this thing is just, like, nuts in a format. If you need to get over a big body, like, just, hey, punch, pop. And then for the non-dinos, we're running 3 Cyber Dragon. So, one of my buddies, CJ, plays Cyber Dragons religiously, and I thought about it, and I was like, it's a free special summon. It's basically Pank, but not as good in my opinion, but obviously. But then I really took back and looked at the meta that we have. This, plus your opponent's extra deck monster, makes Mega Fleet, which is a 10, which plus Conductor is an OTK, because you just go into Gustav Max and just shoot them with a big cannon. It's awesome. I was expecting to see more Orcus, so I was maining the DD Crows. It did really good against Salad. It did good against my True Draco matchup. And if it really wasn't a good card, I would side it out, or I would just keep it as a pill target. Yeah, surprisingly, I wouldn't side out most of my non-dinosaur targets, which actually did really well for me. Final Hand Trap, Ash, Big Forehead, does a lot of hurting right now. Like, some people say Phantasme or Droll. I mean, you could, but I like this because it hits all sorts of things. Like, it can hit Salad, it can hit Lunalites, it can hit Pendulum Magicians. Like, just if you time it right, it can be, like, a devastating card. It can also just, like, hurt Dracos if they go for the Demise with no hand. Really good. Onto the spell lineup. Triple Fossil Dig. Card searches Oviraptor, which is just, like, E-Hero Call, but it also searches any other dinosaur you need. Like, there were times where I literally just Fossil Dig, grabbed a Giant Rex, and then banished the Giant Rex off of a double evolution pill that I had in hand, and then just kept comboing off. God, I was so skeptic to run this card. 3 Extravagance. I thought dinosaurs required the extra deck too much, but turns out you just need to resolve this card once or twice, and you can usually just, like, close out a game. I mean, obviously, if it gets Ashed or they Lucky Impermanence you or something like that, it's kind of it's a sucky experience, but if not, it's Pot of Greed. And then my saving grace for all my matchups today, whenever I saw it, was the mind controls. This card was a godsend. Like, both my True Draco matchups, I got it. My Lunalight matchup, I got to snipe. And then my Salad matchups, it just turned into cake. Like, there were times where they went into the Wolf, the Sunlight Wolf, and I'd literally just normal summon the Oviraptor, link 3, go into the Nightmare Phoenix, and then just spend something. Or if I even needed to, I'd just go into Phoenix and then pop their field spell or something like that. Cyclone, because I don't like back row. And this card says no to back row. Like, Dinosaurs, you can always pay life. Like, I thought about Twin Twisters, but Twin Twisters, yeah, it puts the Dinosaur in grave, but sometimes you have that Kotal that you want to save, and you really don't want to discard. Like, discarding sometimes can be a little rough, especially if you're under, like, a card that says, like, banish all your stuff. Darklaw, the new banisher that came out of the tins, I forget the name. That one is also a pain. 2, Lost World. Card is so clutch. The non-targeting effect is just bonkers, as well as the fact that the token you can keep alive, as well as you can just recur so much from it. And it creates a chain block with Oviraptor, which is always really nice because sucks to get ashed when it's Oviraptor and you don't have the missile. Then 2 double Ev. I really didn't. I wanted to third, but then after playtesting, you only ever really needed 2. If you see 3 of it, it's a brick. I've been playing Dinosaurs for about like 3 years now, and yeah, no, this card is. It's good at 2, unless you're going with a heavy non-dinosaur matchup, or a heavy dinosaur deck, or non-dinosaur deck, versus the other, like if you're doing a mix like Shadal or something like that. 1 Terraforming, because the way I view it is it's technically a 39 card deck, because it's just a search. Like, just consider it the second copy or the first copy of Lost World to start your combo, and then if you really need that Kotal to die, Foolish Burial, or you can send one of your hand traps that's just, you know, is not going to do good for you to get the double evolution pill up. So that's it for the main. I run exactly 40 cards. I really like the ratios where it was at. I really wanted to run Tyranno Infinity and make it 41, but he's more of a high-risk, high-reward card. He'd be great if I actually got him off, but not as much. And then for the extra deck, we run, for links, Nightmare Phoenix and Unicorn. The Nightmare package is just genuinely good. Allows you to spin, allows you to discard, or you're getting dinos in grave. So if you really need them. There was actually a matchup against a Salad player where I actually spinned his field spell back, and then I linked into the Phoenix to pop his final back row, and it was the final copy of Roar, and it just sealed it out. Then we run Pentastag. This thing is the best friend of Ultimate Conductor. If they're left with a token, and you give the Conductor Piercing, like there were so many times where like a player would hit Judgment, or they'd be so low on life that they're like, okay, they're not able to target. You're just like Pentastag, swing. If I had opened a Conductor and a double evolution pill and was able to get the 2 dinosaurs in grave, it was usually Pentastag to finish. If I opened the mind control, then I just made the Pentastag with their guys. It sucks if he gets banished off of the pill or the extravagance, but that's the risk you run with that card. The 1 Borosort, 1 game I have played him. Only 1 game today did I ever summon him, and I only ever needed to. Good lord, this card is just. He win games. We are OTK. I don't like losing in time to life points, so Gaga Cowboy, because no, we don't like that. Gustav Max, because 2 Conductors plus the Pentastag. If the Pentastag isn't enough damage, that's just game. Like there was 4 times that I resolved him. There was 1 time where I couldn't because I got it off the extravagance, but that 1 time I actually didn't even need to. But every other time I got to do him, he's so good. I'm so excited that we're getting the Lost Art promo. Then for the final XYZs that we're running, 1 Logia. Card's really good in this format. Depending on what your matchup is, if you're going up against like a heavy trap or a spell-based deck, really good. If you got to worry about like that really crucial normal summon, Dolka, the MVP of the day. I only run 1. Some people want to run 2. I feel that he's fine. Just, I guess, my luck. every time that I needed to see him, when they banished the 6 for extravagance, he was always in there. It was great. He just wiped out Salad. Whenever someone maybe go first, going into him was always my go-to because we live in such a effect-heavy format right now. And then, as I stated before, I don't like back row. Tornado Dragon. He's also great because I can pop a problematic back row card, like say, if I've been able to get into it, Tornado Dragon to pop, say, there can only be one, a problematic field spell, and also he puts a Dinosaur back in grave, which is great because then I can just banish it to summon a Conductor if I need to, plus I can bait whatever back row they have if they have any left. And then the final guy, because I was worried about Orcust and Salad, Abyss Dweller. I did not summon him at all today. I didn't even contemplate summoning him because it was just go second, murder. We are a hard go second deck, like just blind second. I won the dice roll so many times where I was just like, okay, you can go second, or you can go first, and they're like, okay. They'd set up and then just boom. For the fusions, for the final bit of the extra deck, one of the Predaplants, one of the Starving Venom, and one Chimera for Super Poly targets. And then for the Cyber Dragon, one Chimera Tech and one Mega Fleet. Mega Fleet, as I said, makes Gustav max since he's a 10. And then Chimera Tech, if you go up against Orcust, he just, boom! Like, I think the maximum I ever got him when test playing was like a 4,000, which is just like, oh, damn. And I only special summoned the Cyber Dragon. It's such a good card. Such a good card, honestly. I wouldn't really change anything about the, like, side or the extra deck at all. My side deck was my like lifesaver for real though. 2 Lancia helped me in the Thunder Dragon matchup, very much so. Didn't really use it anytime else. Helped me with Thunder. The only reason that it just didn't help me seal that out was he got the better hand and I did not. Seeing 3 Conductors is the one problem that the deck has. When you brick, you break. I also don't like back row. Hey, True Nate, I think I've said that before. But it's really good about baiting a Crescendo, the Roar, True Draco spells and traps. They either have to shotgun them or they're bounce back. If it's a Call by the Grave and you have nothing, then your Missile is safe, your Ashes are safe, any of your hand traps. Really good card. I enjoy it a lot, especially with a Go Second deck. I put this in more than anything when I was going up against spell and trap based decks. 2 Dark Ruler No More. It was a last minute decision for this one because I was just actually looking for 2 placeholders. It actually saved my butt. I was actually up against a player today and he had just a big negate board, but thankfully just Dark Ruler. Dark Ruler just helps me break boards because I can resolve a UCT without having to worry about anything. And then triple Super Poly. Yeah, we don't like to discard too much, but it's also game change or like a game ender. Not really much else to say there. You get the discard, unrespondable, like really good. This deck doesn't have a good going first, but if you think your opponent's going to go first, my buddy Rico Gonzalez, he actually got 10th place today, told me to run these, and boy did they work. Oh my goodness. I was up against a Lunar Light Danger player, and I thought he had me, but I was able to Judgment His Perfume. I was able to summon, he had 200 life points left, and this just sealed it out, and I love this card to like high heaven right now. And then my favorite card, I will preach this forever. If you don't like back row, Red Reboot. Like if they have the judgment to a double judgment or like a warning and a judgment to hit the Red Reboot, if that works, or like a wiretap or something, that's how it goes. But this shuts down Dracos, hits that Crescendo, hits Salad, anything that's back row, like even Marincess, which I had slight worries about. Like this just shuts it out. Paleo, any trap-based deck, it just makes your OTKing like way better. You don't care about life points in this deck too much because your games aren't going very far. Like I think the quickest I resolved the game was 8 minutes total. 8 minutes my turn and 14 minutes my opponent's turn. It was rough. But yeah, that's the deck. I just got 14th place at All Seas Denver Regionals with it, and honestly, I feel that the deck has a really high ceiling capability with this matchup. Draco and back row decks are the biggest problem, but if you go up against like Orcust, Salad, Pendulums, you have a very high ceiling of just ending the game, just going second. But yeah, thank you guys.
Any shout outs you want to do?
Shout outs to Cheyenne for helping us. Well, my hometown right now, Cheyenne, because we had a whole group of like 20 something of us come up here, and woo! 3 of us got it. Unfortunately, not all of us did, but no. Shout out to my buddy Rico for the judgments recommendation. Shout out to my buddy CJ, because I originally wasn't going to play dinos for this event. I was actually like talking myself out of it, but he made the decision, or he helped me make the decision, and I'm glad that he did. But thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, thank you too. Thank you for watching, like, subscribe, and see you next time. Bye for now.